What if you could shift your entire life by shifting your posture toward it? Most people wake up every day carrying a subtle expectation that life will challenge them, resist them, or even work against them. They brace for disappointment. They scan for danger. Without realizing it, they walk through the world reinforcing a loop of limitation. But what if you flip that script? What if, instead of bracing for hardship, you walked through your day as if life was secretly conspiring in your favor, as if events were aligning to support you, not to break you, as if the universe itself was responding to your inner state? This isn't blind optimism. It's an ancient psychological truth, one that Carl Jung understood deeply. When you act as if everything is working for you, you're not pretending or ignoring reality. You're engaging one of the most powerful forces in your psyche, the ability to shape your perception, your actions, and ultimately your reality. Jung taught that your unconscious mind is not passive. It responds to symbols, emotions, and posture. The way you move through the world sends a constant signal to your inner world, and that inner world shapes what you see and experience. Today, I want to explore this simple yet profound idea: acting as if everything works in your favor. We'll dive into why this approach shifts your psychology, how it influences your unconscious mind, and how it can lead to powerful changes in your life. Along the way, I'll show you practical ways to start embodying this mindset today. Stay with me until the end, because by the time we finish, you'll understand why the act of behaving as if is not just a mindset trick. It's a tool for transformation, grounded in the deepest layers of the human psyche, and it might just be the shift you've been needing. Acting as if. How your posture toward life shapes your reality. Have you ever noticed how some people seem to attract good fortune while others always find obstacles? On the surface, it might seem like pure luck, but often the difference lies in one simple thing: the way they approach life itself, the way they carry themselves, their inner posture. This is where the power of acting as if begins. The idea is simple. If you walk through life as if it's already working for you, your mind and body begin to align with that reality. Carl Jung understood that much of our experience is filtered through the unconscious mind, and the unconscious mind responds far more to posture, tone, and expectation than to words or logic. When you act as if life is on your side, even when you have no concrete proof, you're sending a powerful signal inward. You're telling your psyche, I expect support, I expect alignment, I expect growth. Over time, this expectation begins to shape the way you perceive opportunities, challenges, and even coincidences. Most people do the opposite. They act as if life is dangerous, scarce, or unpredictable, and their mind responds accordingly, heightening fear, closing off to possibility, and reinforcing the very reality they fear. The loop continues. But when you shift this posture, when you deliberately act as if life is for you, the loop begins to change. Your unconscious starts scanning for support, for alignment, for paths forward. This subtle shift in attention creates a radically different experience over time. It's important to note, acting as if doesn't mean denying difficulties. It means choosing your posture despite them. You're not pretending that life is perfect. You're choosing to move through it with the expectation that support exists, that things can align, that growth is possible. This expectation becomes a self-fulfilling process. The more you embody it, the more you notice evidence that supports it. The more evidence you find, the stronger the posture becomes. And so the loop reinforces itself in your favor. This is not magic. It's psychology. And it's exactly what Jung explored when he studied the relationship between the conscious and unconscious mind. The unconscious is a creative force, not a static one. And when you feed it the posture of life is on my side, it begins to organize your inner world and your outer experience to match. Most importantly, it influences the small decisions you make daily, the words you choose, the risks you take, the energy you bring into interactions. Over weeks and months, these micro decisions compound, creating a reality that increasingly mirrors the mindset you embody. In the next section, we'll explore exactly how this process unfolds beneath the surface of your mind, and why acting as if can lead to changes far beyond what you might expect. How acting as if rewires your mind and shapes your perception. When you start acting as if life is working for you, something fascinating begins to happen inside your mind, even before anything changes outside. Carl Jung understood that the unconscious is not a passive observer. It's an active participant in how we perceive and create reality. The way you act sends signals to the unconscious about what kind of world you believe you're living in, and the unconscious, in turn, starts shaping your thoughts, feelings, and perceptions to match that belief. Think about it this way. Your mind is like a search engine. It scans the world for patterns that match your inner expectations. If you constantly act as if life is full of danger and scarcity, your unconscious will filter your experience to confirm that, showing you threats, obstacles, and reasons to hold back. But when you deliberately shift your posture, when you act as if life is abundant, supportive, and full of opportunity, your mind starts scanning for those patterns instead. And what you focus on, you begin to find. This is where many people misunderstand the process. They think they need to feel confident or positive before they can act as if. But Jung would remind us, it's the action that comes first. The behavior leads, the feeling follows. By choosing to behave as if things are aligning for you, even when you're uncertain, you initiate a powerful feedback loop. The more you act in alignment with this posture, the more your unconscious adjusts, and the easier it becomes to believe and feel that way authentically. Over time, this rewiring has profound effects. You start noticing opportunities you would have overlooked. You become more open in your interactions, which invites better responses from others. You recover from setbacks faster because you interpret them as temporary rather than defining. And perhaps most importantly, you build a subtle but growing sense of trust in life, the belief that even unseen forces may be working in your favor. This trust reshapes not just your mindset, but your entire experience of the world. And here's the beautiful paradox. The more you act as if life is supporting you, the more you'll find evidence that it is. Not because reality magically changes overnight, but because your perception, your filter on the world, has changed. You'll take actions you previously avoided. You'll engage with people more openly. You'll recognize synchronicities you once dismissed. This is where psychology and what Jung called the symbolic life intersect. You become both the author and the reader of a new, more empowering story about your life. In the next section, we'll explore one of the most fascinating aspects of this process, the role of synchronicity, and how acting as if can seemingly invite life to cooperate in unexpected ways. Synchronicity, how acting as if invites life to cooperate. Carl Jung introduced the concept of synchronicity to explain a curious phenomenon, meaningful coincidences that can't be explained by cause and effect. Moments when events align in ways that seem almost orchestrated, as if life itself is responding to your inner state. Acting as if life is working in your favor is one of the most effective ways to invite these synchronicities. Why? Because it places you in a state of openness, receptivity, and alignment with possibility, the perfect conditions for such moments to emerge. When you carry the posture of life is on my side, your unconscious becomes more attuned to symbols and patterns. You begin noticing connections you once missed, a conversation overheard at the right time, a chance meeting with someone who opens a new door, a book that offers exactly the insight you needed. To a skeptical mind, these may appear as random events. But Jung understood that when the inner world and the outer world align, what seems random is often deeply meaningful. The more consistently you embody this posture, the more frequently these synchronicities seem to occur. It's not that the universe suddenly becomes more magical, it's that you're finally tuned in to the subtle ways life communicates. Acting as if you're supported puts you in a psychological state where you can recognize and act upon these opportunities instead of dismissing them or letting them pass unnoticed. In this way, your belief and your behavior invite life to dance with you rather than against you. Of course, this process is not about forcing outcomes. It's about trusting the process and maintaining a posture of openness. When you try to manipulate life or chase synchronicities, you often block them. But when you act with calm expectation, as if life is already working in your favor, you create space for these connections to flow naturally. Jung taught that living symbolically means moving through life with a sense of wonder and meaning, not rigid control. Synchronicity thrives in this space of trust and openness. And here's where the loop deepens. Each synchronicity reinforces your belief that life supports you. This strengthened belief influences your posture even further, inviting more synchronicities. A beautiful upward spiral. What began as a simple decision to act as if gradually transforms into an authentic inner knowing. You no longer need to force the posture. It becomes part of who you are. In the next section, we'll address a common challenge on this path. The inner voice of doubt that says, "But what if I can't believe this yet?" And how you can overcome it. But what if I don't believe it yet? Overcoming inner doubt, at this point, you might be thinking, this all sounds powerful, but what if I can't fully believe it yet? What if part of me still doubts that life is on my side? That is one of the most common and natural objections. After all, many of us have been conditioned for years, even decades, to expect struggle, scarcity, and resistance. Shifting to a new posture of trust isn't always easy. Carl Jung understood this tension deeply. He taught that transformation begins not by erasing doubt, but by moving forward in spite of it. The key insight here is that belief doesn't have to come first. Action does. Many people wait until they feel ready or fully believe before acting as if life supports them. But this approach often leads to endless waiting. Jung would remind us, the psyche is influenced most by what you do, not what you say or think. When you choose to behave in alignment with the posture you want, even if some part of you still doubts, you begin to shift your internal landscape. The action leads, the belief follows. Consider this. Imagine someone who wants to build confidence. If they wait until they feel confident to act confidently, they may never start. But if they begin to take small confident actions, standing taller, speaking clearly, engaging with others, those behaviors gradually reshape their inner state. The same principle applies here. By acting as if life is on your side, through small daily choices, you begin to teach your unconscious that this posture is safe, natural, and true. Of course, this process takes patience and compassion. You won't wake up one day with every doubt erased. That's not the goal. The goal is to build a new pattern, one step at a time. Start with micro acts of trust. Speak with a tone of calm expectation. Take one small risk aligned with growth. Interpret a challenge as a lesson rather than a punishment. These simple acts accumulate, sending a consistent message to your psyche. I choose to trust. I choose to align with possibility. Over time, this becomes your new baseline. And here's the most empowering truth. You don't have to get it perfect. You don't need unwavering belief to start. You only need willingness, a small opening, the courage to act in alignment with a higher posture, even when your old programming protests. As Jung taught, transformation is a dialogue between the conscious and unconscious. When you move forward with openness, your deeper mind will begin to meet you there. In the next and final section, we'll explore how to fully embody this new posture, how to become the living symbol of the reality you want to create. Becoming the symbol, how to embody the change you seek. At its core, this entire practice is about becoming a living symbol of the reality you wish to experience. Carl Jung often spoke of the symbolic life, a way of moving through the world where your actions, posture, and presence embody deeper meaning. When you act as if life is working in your favor, you are not just adopting a mindset. You are stepping into a new symbolic identity, one that signals to both your unconscious and the world around you. I am aligned with trust, growth, and possibility. This is why the small, consistent choices matter so much. Every gesture of openness, every word spoken with calm expectation, every moment where you choose curiosity over fear. These are not trivial acts, they are signals. They reinforce your new posture, helping you embody it more fully over time. The more you live this way, the more natural it becomes. What once felt forced or unfamiliar begins to feel like your true state. You are no longer pretending, you are becoming. And here's the paradox. As you embody this posture authentically, you inspire the same in others. People respond to your energy. They sense your trust and openness, often without knowing why. New connections form. Unexpected opportunities arise. The symbolic life has a quiet power. It resonates beyond words. In this way, your choice to act as if life supports you does not just change your own experience. It ripples outward, shaping the world around you in ways you cannot fully predict. Of course, this is not about perfection. There will be days when old patterns resurface, when doubt creeps back in. That is normal. The key is not to eliminate all fear, but to return again and again to your chosen posture. Each return strengthens the path. Over time, you cultivate an inner resilience, a deep knowing that while challenges will come, you can meet them from a place of trust and alignment. You become the person for whom life increasingly does seem to conspire. So today, I invite you, start now. Choose one small action, one shift in tone, in posture, in expectation. Begin to walk as if life is already working for you. And as you do, notice what begins to shift within and around you. Jung taught that transformation begins in the unconscious, but it is made real through conscious choice. Choose to become the symbol of the life you seek. And if you want to go deeper into this journey, watch the next video on how to reprogram your subconscious mind to support your growth. You'll find it linked here. It will guide you even further on this path. Becoming the symbol. How to embody the change you seek. At its core, this entire practice is about becoming a living symbol of the reality you wish to experience. Carl Jung often spoke of the symbolic life, a way of moving through the world where your actions, posture, and presence embody deeper meaning. When you act as if life is working in your favor, you are not just adopting a mindset, you are stepping into a new symbolic identity, one that signals to both your unconscious and the world around you. I am aligned with trust, growth, and possibility. This is why the small, consistent choices matter so much. Every gesture of openness, every word spoken with calm expectation, every moment where you choose curiosity over fear. These are not trivial acts. They are signals. They reinforce your new posture, helping you embody it more fully over time. The more you live this way, the more natural it becomes. What once felt forced or unfamiliar begins to feel like your true state. You are no longer pretending, you are becoming. And here's the paradox. As you embody this posture authentically, you inspire the same in others. People respond to your energy. They sense your trust and openness, often without knowing why. New connections form. Unexpected opportunities arise. The symbolic life has a quiet power. It resonates beyond words. In this way, your choice to act as if life supports you does not just change your own experience. It ripples outward, shaping the world around you in ways you cannot fully predict. Of course, this is not about perfection. There will be days when old patterns resurface, when doubt creeps back in. That is normal. The key is not to eliminate all fear, but to return again and again to your chosen posture. Each return strengthens the path. Over time, you cultivate an inner resilience, a deep knowing that while challenges will come, you can meet them from a place of trust and alignment. You become the person for whom life increasingly does seem to conspire. So today, I invite you, start now. Choose one small action, one shift in tone, in posture, in expectation. Begin to walk as if life is already working for you. And as you do, notice what begins to shift within and around you. Jung taught that transformation begins in the unconscious, but it is made real through conscious choice. Choose to become the symbol of the life you seek. And if you want to go deeper into this journey, watch the next video on how to reprogram your subconscious mind to support your growth. You'll find it linked here. It will guide you even further on this path. The beauty of living as if is that it gradually frees you from the grip of external validation. You no longer wait for the world to approve of your direction before moving forward. Instead, you generate that inner permission yourself. This shift is subtle but life-changing. When you carry yourself as someone who is already supported by life, you stop chasing validation and start embodying it. And in doing so, you naturally attract more genuine support. Another key transformation lies in how you handle uncertainty. Acting as if life is on your side doesn't eliminate uncertainty. It changes your relationship to it. You begin to see uncertainty not as a threat, but as a space of possibility. Each unknown becomes a doorway that could open in your favor. This mindset keeps you engaged, curious, and receptive, rather than withdrawn or defensive. It allows you to meet life with an open heart, even when the path ahead is unclear. This posture also strengthens your emotional resilience. When difficulties arise, and they will, you are better equipped to interpret them in a constructive way. Instead of seeing challenges as signs that life is against you, you can frame them as temporary detours or necessary lessons. This reframing is powerful. It prevents you from falling into victimhood and empowers you to stay aligned with growth, even in the face of adversity. Over time, this builds an unshakable inner foundation. Perhaps most importantly, acting as if life supports you reconnects you with a deeper sense of meaning. Jung believed that a life without meaning breeds emptiness and despair. When you choose to embody trust in life, you begin to experience your journey as part of a larger, meaningful unfolding. Even small events take on greater significance. You feel more connected to the flow of existence. And this connection nourishes your spirit in ways that logic alone cannot explain. Finally, remember this. The act of becoming the symbol is a daily practice. It's not a one-time decision, but an ongoing dance between intention and action. Some days will feel effortless, others will require conscious recommitment. But each time you choose this posture, you strengthen its hold within you. You become more aligned with possibility, more resilient in the face of doubt, and more magnetic to the very experiences you seek. Over time, life begins to mirror the deeper truth you have chosen to embody.